Welcome back to another episode of Aunt and Andrew with Family's Everything.
Until it's not.
Hi, Aunt. How you doing today?
Good. How are you,
I'm
Andrew?
fabulous. We've been talking for 3 hours already.
It hasn't stopped. If you only knew what we talked about in between.
Oh yeah, we filmed Vanderpump, then we had a long ranting conversation about everything
We
under the sun.
rant. And now we're into Beverly Hills. Beverly Hills. I'm
Yes.
going to start with I have I'm all over the place with
Well,
it.
before we get started, like, subscribe, follow us on all the social channels, do the whole kit and caboodle. Aunt loves attention. Send her a few DMs, tell her she looks a little sexy or something.
Slide into my DMs on Aunt and Andrew. I would just love that. I've never gotten one.
Slide like they did on OC on the slip and slide.
I would love that if somebody slid into my DMs. I would think
Emily
that's the
Simpson's
greatest.
mother-in-law's house.
Oh my God, that'd be so great. I want to tell you that when Kyle hugged, I want everybody to go back and watch it if you don't believe me. When
Okay.
Kyle and Sutton got up to hug, when they decided to hug it out, Sutton was having trouble standing at that time before she knew Kathy Hilton was coming out, because some people think that it was Kathy Hilton that made her go crazy, and it might have. Ooh, well, that was exciting. Some people think that Kathy Hilton is the reason why Sutton had a panic attack. And I'm going to say, I believe Sutton was on a slippery slope with maybe some different things that calmed her nerves for the day, because it wouldn't be the first housewife that took a little Xanax or
With
something.
no food.
With no food, and maybe got a roadie on the way.
Totally.
And Sutton is a very thin woman.
She is. Not her bank account, but she is.
No, her bank account's thick, but her body's thin. And I could see her, especially as she gets older. Now, I'm going to talk about as a woman of a certain age. I thought it was so shady that Kathy Hilton said, "Oh my God, Sutton, you're 49. Of course you're going to get hot." And that's another thing. First of all, she just called her out on her age, which you shouldn't do. You just shouldn't. You should
I don't
say,
blame Kathy Hilton. She had just walked on. I don't even think she
no,
really knew what
I
was
know.
happening.
Anyways, but she did. That was shady. That was shady to say, "Oh, you're 49. Of course you're a certain age." But I'm going to tell you, having been 49, having gone through menopause, having gone through starvations, I'm going to tell you, it's very easy to be all over the place in no time at all. And Sutton is a thin woman. I think it would be very, very easy for her to collapse. She's collapsible. And I don't think you can fake the blood pressure and all that other stuff. I just don't. But she was uneasy even before Kathy came out. And they show in the beginning, "Oh, I'm hot. I'm hot. I'm hot." And she was doing this thing with her legs and stuff. And then she found out Kathy was coming. And I thought Kathy coming, was shadiest thing that they've done. Now, who do you think knew Kathy was coming and who didn't? Because Kyle wasn't surprised Kathy was there, but Sutton was, Garcelle was.
Garcelle is the one that I questioned through the whole thing. Why did she go to the hospital?
She didn't want to be part of this either. I think she realized that this is a setup coming, and I'm not going to be here for this either. That's what I think. I think they felt they were being set up at that moment. That's me personally. I would have felt set up too, because I got the impression that Erica wasn't surprised Kathy was there.
I just don't like, this is my thing about the Kathy situation that I didn't like.
She was no reason to be there for a whole segment, a whole episode.
I believe that it was done. I think that there was a strategy behind it by the Hilton Richards team.
Yes.
Where let's bring Kathy to take a little bit of the shine off of Kyle.
Yes.
And for Kathy to bring up how Sutton was talking a lot of shit about Kyle to Kathy.
Yes.
When Kathy and Kyle were not on good terms.
Yes, I agree.
Yep.
But some of it was also to diss Mauricio.
Yeah, there probably was more.
Obviously, with everything that came out this week,
Paris Hilton put Mauricio in his grave.
And Andy went and supported Mauricio. But you see what I'm saying? So there's always going to, listen, Mauricio was one of Hilton Highland's biggest agents.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? He was making them oodles of money. The
Mm-hmm.
opportunity came along for him to make himself oodles of money.
Mm-hmm.
Mauricio started making oodles of money. Hilton Highland wasn't making as much money. So at the end of the day,
It's
they're
all
all
business.
about it's all about money. I mean, this is
Yes.
the end of it. And they remember they didn't invite Mauricio to it was what's the other one? Not Paris. What's the other sister? Nikki.
Oh.
He wasn't invited to Nikki Hilton's wedding. To a Rothschild, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So there's always that little dig there, like you hurt my bottom line. That's what it's all about. They were at no time did they care about Mauricio. And Mauricio said, if they'd offered me a promotion, if they did this, if they took me in on it, I would have stayed. But they didn't. They always treated him like an employee and not a partner. And so he went and did his own thing. And Kathy's just waiting to go back there. And Kyle keeps on saying, let's not talk about business. Let's not talk about
No,
business.
she doesn't want to go back in time, but
She
I get
doesn't
where
want to.
Mauricio is coming from. Trust me.
Totally. I totally get where Mauricio's coming from. He's like, he's like it or not, he's got his own show. I saw the trailer to that.
Yeah, I'm not watching
too.
that shit.
No, I'm just saying I saw the trailer. It came up, on Netflix. So he's got his own show. He's promoting himself. Listen, the Hiltons have done nothing but promote themselves for 40 years.
Of course. No,
You know
I
what
don't
I
think I
mean?
think the issue
And they're all
is
fighting
yeah.
for who's getting the listings, who's making the most money, who's got the most attention. I mean, the way Mauricio now has the Netflix show and the girls are on it, and they all want to be like little Kris Jenners and little the whole thing is kind of bizarre to me. It's a different world we can't comprehend. It's not like normal. It's not normal.
My question
Life.
is to the Hilton Highlands is so you guys determine who becomes real estate agents in Beverly Hills?
Yeah, they do in their head. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they do. They do. They do,
That's great. That's
unfortunately.
awesome. Well,
I know.
Mauricio showed you the door.
And I think he was probably treated not, I don't want to say bad, but maybe not fairly.
Listen, people don't always value what they have. It happens in all types of businesses.
Oh, all the time. All the time. Yeah. But okay, so Sutton starts. Now, Dorit and Erica both thought she did pass out. They said that. I think
Okay.
she was unconscious. I think she was unconscious there for a minute, I think it was a combination of things. I just do with Sutton. I don't think it was any one.
Maybe not. I mean,
thing.
I agree. I don't want to question her health. I found that
I don't think it was any one thing. I think there were several things. And I do think nerves played a part all of a sudden.
Did you not think it was so funny that after Anne Marie had pretty much no involvement in the whole reunion, the minute there was a medical situation, she's like, "Oh, I think you need to do this." Oh, it's like her role on the show. And
But that's okay.
Anne Marie,
she's a nurse.
They should have asked her to stop filming. That's how bad of a housewife she is. Like the producers shouldn't have put us through the stress of having to see her the whole season. I think she should have been the first housewife fired mid-season for being boring.
Yeah, well, they wouldn't do that.
They're the only show that had the right, like Beverly Hills has so much diversity mixed in with white people that they could have, and it wouldn't have probably been labeled that way.
Well, I'm going to tell you how every cast member reacted told me more about them than anything I've seen in 15 years of watching Beverly Hills seasons. Okay. Dorit got up and appeared concerned because that's Dorit. She may not really be concerned, but she
got
does
up slowly. She made sure no one popped her bubble as she walked over.
Yes.
And then she slowly said, "Is everything okay?"
Yes.
Good. Okay, good. I asked my important question.
Yes. Okay. She always makes sure she does something. Okay.
Checks the box.
Erica, she could have cared less.
Yeah,
basically.
She don't give them. How many fucks does she give? None. 0.
Kathy was beyond deplorable, whether it was
out
real
to
or
lunch
fake.
or already medicated herself. Like Kathy, I think had no idea what was going on.
Self-absorbed that she doesn't care about anyone else's health.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Walked in to come after Sutton and was really disappointed that she wasn't going to be able to. Now that would have been.
And then she's talking about Christmas trees. I mean, like I was like,
no,
you've
Erica
got a
asked her, "Did you take down your tree?"
Yeah, and she should have said, "Well, God, we got this going on right now. I'll tell you later."
I don't think they even knew that they.
Like, she scrolled.
There's times when they're whispering, you realize they're probably whispering almost in that moment. And
Yeah, I
production is
know.
being shady and
And
turning it
they
up so it
zip it up.
sounds like we
Yes.
can hear it.
All right. Garcelle's a good friend. Anne-Marie did
Convenience.
what nurse does.
Okay.
Kyle seemed genuinely concerned about her.
Yeah, I think so.
He
Because she had
did.
just hugged her.
Crystal seemed somewhat concerned because Crystal was like, oh, her blood pressure is as bad as mine was that time. And I had to go to the hospital too. And so I read what was wrong
Hmm.
with Sutton, and it said she had severe dehydration and something else. I forget, but it was severe.
Microscopic esophagus.
No, it said exhaustion,
Oh, okay.
clinical exhaustion.
She must have been
And
out potty and hard with Avi the night
well, see,
before.
that's another thing. Exhaustion's a different category than just I'm tired. And severe dehydration she was. And when you get severely dehydrated, your body goes into
I've
almost
been dehydrated. My calves have been getting some cramps.
well, I'm telling you, get wait till you're 49. So I think that's what Crystal had when she passed out, that she was severely
Well, then
dehydrated
maybe
too.
Sutton should drink water during the day and not roadies.
Anyways, it showed me how they reacted more than I needed to know about these women. That's all I'm going to say. At
Now,
least if
we didn't get
somebody's
an
having a
answer on
medical
Morgan.
emergency.
You know why I
We
think
didn't get an answer about Morgan because Kyle plays ring around the rosy with her words.
or she's waiting for the paycheck for the exclusive that when she announces it.
She
Or
plays ring around the rosy
they're
with
really
her
not
words.
anything. But you know what I didn't realize?
No, they're definitely something.
Kyle and
without a
I
doubt.
both.
She wasn't straightforward at all about anything. Everything was elusive. And if it's elusive, she should say, I am not going to divulge what happened in my marriage because it is between me and Mauricio and it's no one's business what happened between us. This is the decision that we've made going forward in our lives. Instead, it's like, well, something, I don't know. I want to worry about my kids. My family's always this.
Okay,
It's too
but
many words.
she already knew Mauricio was talking about it on his show. So
So be it said, listen, this is between us. What can I say?
he should have said the same thing then.
But do you believe Kyle knew that the sister was coming, Kathy was coming?
Yeah.
Okay, who knew? I still want to know
Kyle.
who knew.
I think it was just Kyle.
You don't think Dorit knew Kathy was
No.
coming?
I don't think they cared though. I don't think Kathy had anything on Dorit. I don't think Kathy
And
had
you
anything
don't
on
think
Erica.
Erica cared?
I don't think she cared. There was nothing for Kathy
Do
to
you
say
think
about
Crystal
her.
cared? Because they had pictures
No.
of Crystal.
They're friends.
Well, so isn't Sutton. So why
No,
was Sutton?
I think there's something there we don't know. That's the whole point.
Oh,
That's what I'm trying to say.
All right. Were you
I think
surprised?
Sutton knows that. I think Kathy's probably pissed that Sutton said, "You've already lost 2 sisters. You want to lose a third?"
Yeah.
And we haven't heard anything since then. That was aired. And so like, but one thing about Kathy Hilton that I just can't stand is how she doesn't love hearing things that are hurtful, but yet does she think that when what she said about Kyle and Mauricio having problems for 3 years when she's having her little gel put on her face,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know what? They shaded her with that a little bit because she did not look good in that chair before.
No, but
she
she
was
said
all
something
made
that
up.
was good, so she shouldn't say that
And
stuff.
who does Kathy Hilton think she is coming out with her little bag? And why does she have a bag? What has she got in that bag that she can't let go of? What is she vaping? What is she sniffing? What is she
phone.
snorting? Nobody else comes out with the bag, but she had
They
a little
all-
bag like she was she had a little bag. No, she had a purse. The others had like a little thing for their lip gloss and stuff. But Kathy had a full-on bag like she's the queen used to carry.
I don't pay attention to that stuff. I think that
What do you think's wrong with Kate Middleton?
I think that I don't know. I haven't really paid too much attention. I think that I think there's issues going on. I think she's having a mental health crisis and like
No, I don't think it's mental health. I think she's a sick girl.
something. There was another day that there was domestic violence. Someone said
no, there's no domestic
the rumor.
violence.
That
I
was
don't
the
believe
rumor.
The rumor. No, I do not believe that William hits Kate. That's a terrible thing to say.
Let's see.
No, no.
Let's see what it is.
Listen,
I read that online. Don't make it seem like I'm saying it.
Okay, listen. You don't schedule 3 months and say that the Princess of Wales is having
a mental health crisis and needs to go to rehab.
No, you don't say the Princess of Wales is in hospital and is recovering for 3 months if she's been beat.
If it's a mental health thing and there's some abuse and it's a way to keep her quiet and have her committed, you don't know. These people are powerful.
No, I don't see that. I
Okay.
see an actual loving couple who love each other with their children.
Okay. Then why isn't he saying something then?
I don't think there's any physical abuse in the
Then why
in
isn't someone saying she has a personal medical situation that we don't
well,
want
they've
out
said
there?
that she has she had surgery.
Okay.
They
So then
said
why
she
doesn't
had
he
an
go out in front of
operation
the crowd and say, there's no bad situation here. You're all wrong. Leave me and my family alone.
because I think she had surgery in something that's embarrassing.
Okay. But he doesn't have to say what it is. He still can go out there and say it's not a marital issue. There's no abuse. There's no mental health. There's no this. Like he could diffuse all these things that people keep saying and they choose not to.
Going back to Kyle, what did Kyle say? Why didn't you say anything? And she says, because it's nobody's business. And that goes for the royal family too, I guess.
But she has a
Kathy
marital
did
issue
say
with her
that.
husband.
Yeah.
If there
Well,
was a
if
reason,
William's beating Catherine, that's a marital issue too.
I get it. But what I'm trying to say
Okay.
is that we knew Kyle's situation was a marital issue. We don't know that with Kate. We don't know anything. We just know she's missing. It'd be like
Yeah,
if Kyle
she's
was
sick.
filming Halloween for 2 months. No one knew what she was doing. There were rumors swirling that it was her and Mauricio problem, her getting a nose job, her filming a movie. No, when there's
Her
no,
getting a facelift.
when there's no foul play,
Yeah,
okay, you
right.
come out and you diffuse it and say there's no foul play.
Yeah, I don't know what the story is. I don't know why. We were talking about the Hiltons and the Rothschilds in
Because not much
England
happened
and
in this part
everything.
3.
She's listen, she did imply that he was unfaithful, that he was unfaithful.
Oh,
Would you agree?
100%.
Yeah, she did imply that he was unfaithful. She thought she could get past it.
I thought
She
that was very real.
realized she can't get past it, but she's not embarrassing him with that. And
I give her a lot of credit. Kyle has
she's
handled this
trying
well.
to protect her children
Hmm.
because they love him. He is the breadwinner. So
Okay, but
she's always going to want to keep him tight that way because he's going to be paying her for a long, long time.
that has nothing to do with if she says things yes or no. It
I
doesn't matter.
also think Kyle is having her own midlife crisis.
I don't know how you can say that. I think she's very calm. And I think that like everyone else is the crazy ones around her.
No, 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 no. You can have a midlife crisis and be calm.
Okay.
And
Well, at least she's handling it appropriately.
You assume a midlife crisis means somebody's crazy. No, a midlife crisis means that your children are grown now and you take a look around and you're like, okay, for the last 20, 30 years, all I've done is been a mom to someone.
Okay.
I don't need to be a mom anymore full-time 24/7. Who am I? A midlife crisis doesn't mean you go off and you're crazy.
Okay,
It
but what
means
I'm
you
saying is,
question who you are.
but her reaction to her midlife crisis is very healthy, calm, and collected.
Except for the
What part?
fact um that the tattoos is weird. All
She's
the
had
tattoos,
tattoos though.
but the additional tattoos that keep
Okay,
on
but I think
coming
that she
is
may
a little
regret one of
weird.
those down the line. She may have that,
Yeah,
but that's
probably the
not
M. It
that's
wasn't from
not
Mauricio, it was from
but
a Morgan.
that's not, in my opinion, grounds to say that Kyle's not handling it correctly. I just think that like she's adding some tattoos, but it's also not like she was like, I'll never get a tattoo ever in my life. I'm against them. And then she started adding tattoos.
I think the alcohol is weird. I think it's all sort of, I mean, she wasn't somebody who had a drinking problem.
You don't know though if she had a couple bad nights of drinking right when this started and said, my husband and I are not on the same page. He's never around, and I don't like that I get drunk. Remember what they say about Shannon Medore? She has some drinks and then she calls everyone in her phone book.
Yeah, and then
So,
she
that
forgets.
in my mind, that's not really destructive. That's staying home, getting bombed, and calling everyone in your phone book. You don't love that after though, because
Shannon should stay home.
let's also say this: Kyle's inner circle
Yeah.
are not really the people that have the time to pick up your phone calls and hear you drunkenly complain about your husband, Kris
That's
Jenner,
true.
Faye
Yeah.
Resnick.
Yeah.
Her inner circle is very A-list and very busy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
well,
think
yes
that
and no. And then she had her friend die. That can change everything when your
yes,
friend
but I
dies.
don't.
That changes. I'm going to tell you what happens when you get to, how old's Kyle? Almost 50?
She's 50.
Hey Siri, how old is
She's
Kyle
50.
Richards? 55.
Yeah,
Okay, she's 55.
exactly.
I'm going to tell you, when you get to your mid 50s and stuff and your friends start dying, you start to realize you have mortality, and in a way you didn't, because before that in your life, you have a lot of friends who die of a car accident, of an overdose, they had cancer or something. When you have a friend die at 55 or that age group from suicide,
Oh
that's
yeah,
a
yeah,
different
yes,
thing. That's a
totally.
different thing. You start to question everything in your life. Even if you have a friend who is very ill, it affects your life.
Of course,
Not in that you're worried about them, in that you worried about your own mortality.
of course,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, she Mickey Moused the answers. She tried to dance around. She's probably trying to protect her kids. But I think she could have acted better, since
Well,
she
I
is an
think that
actress.
Andy lost his mojo with Kyle when Sutton and Garcelle left. He had to cut out a
Yeah.
bunch of questions. He
Yeah.
couldn't ask the right ones, and they probably scrambled. They didn't know how to like finish this off, and it showed. It was a bad reunion.
Yeah, I thought it was. I
It
agree.
was
Especially,
subpar.
I think though, and the last episode should have been when everything came flying, and it didn't.
It didn't.
No, it
So I
was a
think you
little
learned a lesson,
disappointing.
Andy. Talk about the most destructive things first, because you never know who's going to pass out.
Well, that's true. But you know what else I really noticed, and it's been going on for a while. Andy uses viewer questions, so he doesn't have to ask the hard question.
Of course.
Now, Erica was also fascinating because they kept on showing her rolling her eyes,
Yep.
rolling her eyes, rolling her eyes. And do they have a camera on almost every single
Oh
one?
yeah, they all have a
Oh,
camera
okay.
they're supposed to look at.
Oh, okay. So as she kept on rolling her eyes, so either Erica knows exactly what's going on, or Erica doubts everything Kyle's saying. I don't know which one it was.
I think that I don't know. I
Look.
don't know. I don't know what I don't know. I don't know. I
No,
have
but
no
I
idea.
kept on saying with Erica, oh, the way she's rolling her eyes, rolling her eyes. She's thinking to herself, oh yeah, you just keep on pretending you two aren't sleeping together. All right, okay,
Then let's see what
whatever.
happens. We'll have to
Well,
pay attention.
I
Who's your
still
mess?
to this day believe I'm going to say something like that. When they asked her point blank, are you sleeping? Is there a relationship with Morgan? If you asked me that, I would be like, oh my God, will you stop, please? I like men. Like, I'm not into women. Sorry. She might be my friend, this, and that. And she
Unless
never
there's like
says that. If somebody said to you, Andrew, as a gay male,
Mhm.
well, what's going on with you and, Susie Q? You go, oh, for God's sakes, nothing. I like men.
Or
That's
I'd
what
say,
you would say.
have you seen her bank account?
Well, Morgan doesn't have a big bank
I
account,
know.
is
I
what
know.
I'm saying. You know what I mean? Me, I think Kathy Hilton's a mess. I'm sorry. Kathy Hilton did nothing for herself, her brand, her persona, her status by coming on and doing this show for the one little
Here's
clip.
the deal. I don't want
I
to get
thought it
Kathy.
was
I don't give
bad for
Kathy a
Kathy
fair shot
Hilton.
because of the fact that Sutton left. I would have loved to see them together. Garcelle is my mess. You little chicken, you ran away.
Well, she had to seem like she was supporting her friend, but you did notice they had time to change. They weren't
Mhm.
in that big of an emergency that they
Exactly.
didn't change their clothes.
Yep.
I thought if you're that sick, they just bring you.
Exactly.
They
I
don't
can't
say,
believe
take
they
off your
let Garcelle
clothes,
leave.
have a
They
this,
didn't
have a
even
that.
they didn't let Anne Marie go with Crystal in
Yeah.
a foreign country to the hospital, but yet they let Garcelle go with Sutton in Beverly Hills.
Yes. Oh, and you know what? This is it for Beverly Hills. We won't be talking about it again for 9 months, probably, or more.
Thank God I'm
right?
over it.
But I want to, because we love Countess Luann.
Okay.
We love Countess Luann, and we just saw Countess Luann's show, Marry F. Kill.
Okay.
Let's do
You want to finish it off?
Marry F.
Okay.
Kill Beverly Hills Husbands. We've got Mauricio Umansky.
Okay, no, we don't have to name the options.
No, we do.
It's not an interactive
These are your
game.
choices.
Who would you marry first?
I marry RHOBH.
Okay. I would marry I think that I would marry the problem is a lot of them don't. There's not many options. Wait,
No, I
we
know.
only
We
have
only
three.
got PK. We got PK, Mauricio, and RHOBH. Those are your
Oh,
options.
okay. I was about to say I'm trying to think of all these others, and I'm like,
No, that's it.
divorced,
Those are
divorced.
the husbands.
I would marry I would marry well, I don't I would marry Mauricio.
I'm marrying Rob
Okay.
because he's like a solid guy.
Okay.
I'm effing Mauricio
Well, here's the deal.
because he looks
I would marry Mauricio with no prenup.
okay. That's fair because
If
he's
there was a
got.
prenup,
But I
I'd
think
marry
Rob's
Rob,
got a lot of money too, is what I'm
not
saying.
Mauricio money.
Oh, you don't? I'm gonna have to
The
find out how
circle of
much.
life doesn't keep the pot going that long. Okay.
Yeah, but he still does have money. But and then I'm killing PK.
Oh, well, I'm killing PK no matter what.
Yeah, I
Because I'd rather
agree.
bang Rob if I'm marrying Mauricio than PK on either front.
Yeah, I'm not banging PK. I'm not marrying him, and I'm just not. So I'll kill him. Mauricio, I'm going to bang, and I'm going to marry Rob because he's a good, solid guy. He'll always be there. The other one's
Yeah,
a
that's an
dangle
easy
on the
one. You're right.
side.
There's no fun in that. It's
No, there
marry Rob,
wasn't.
bang
But that
Mauricio.
tells you all you need to know about the show, too.
Yeah, totally.
Does.
Well,
All right. Well,
we'll
you know
have to
what? We're
catch you
wrapping
next
up.
season on it, guys.
And here's one more prediction, and we can go back in a year and see if we were right or wrong.
Okay.
Will Kyle Richards return next year on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills?
With Morgan, without Morgan, or
Just
you never know. Maybe with Kim and Kathy. She did say she wants him back.
I'm gonna say I can see a Beverly Hills next season without Kyle Richards.
Okay. Well, time will tell. Maybe LVP will be coming back.
Ooh.
Bye, y'all.